Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing the OECD, that's the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. As we've discussed in other videos, this is the organization Thailand is now talking to as it's engaging in some kind of 5-year process of possibly joining. Again, as discussed in other videos, it's not a foregone conclusion that Thailand will join the OECD, so don't make that sort of assumption. Now that said, it's going through this harmonization process, and as we've discussed in other videos, there's a lot associated with banking transparency, if you will. In my opinion, it's a lack of banking privacy associated with the OECD, surveillance of transactions, surveillance of bank transfers. But I have seen a lot of folks out there talking about, well, I'm just going to go somewhere else. Well, I thought of making this video on that topic after reading this article in the Pattaya Mail. That's pattayamail.com. Article is titled, "Does Thailand Really Want Humble Expats Anymore?" Quoting directly, "It's worth recording that Thailand is one of around 140 countries that have agreed to share with each other international banking transactions of individuals." I mean, this really is pretty pernicious. I'm quoting that again. 140 countries which have agreed to share with each other international banking transactions of individuals. You mean the banking transactions of their own citizenries with outsiders? Is that what you mean? Quoting further, "Under the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, which opposes tax havens and money laundering." As discussed in other videos, one, Thailand's never been a tax haven. It's never been one. I discussed that in videos I made years ago, nearly a decade ago. Yet Thailand's never been a tax haven. Meanwhile, money laundering, I'm really tired of that term. As I explained in another video, that is arguably one of the most effectively propagandized terms I've ever seen. That term did not exist in the legal lexicon prior to 1987. And when you really think about what they're saying when they say money laundering, it means just moving your own money around in such a way that the government does not approve of it. That's really what it means. Now, point of this video, and sorry to get off on a bit of a rant, but, and let me quote further, "If you flee to Cambodia or the Philippines as a wannabe tax exile, remember, they are OECD members too." Yeah, it's a good point. At the end of the day, there's not a lot of places you're going to be able to get away from this for now. I think it's worth noting the world is changing, and it's changing fast. And I think many of the people who are operating in the world, especially those who operate in the value for value economy and not the hyper Keynesianized, super financialized paper chase economy, especially in the West, the folks that are in the value for value economy, I think they just want to exchange value, and they appreciate, I think, the importance of financial privacy and the ability to have some privacy in their financial transactions, in their business transactions. So for this reason, I would say that while perhaps for now it's not exactly possible to hop over to Cambodia and avoid this, there may come a point in the future where the OECD may not be the big bad boogeyman it currently is perceived to be.